Hey everybody, hope you're all doing well out there. It is that time of year again, calendars time. If you're a regular viewer of this channel over the past few years, you'll know that every Christmas I basically make a calendar, or two, one that's photography based and one that is motorcycles image based. I get them printed at a local printer's, I pick them up and I take them to the post office and dispatch them all myself. So everything about these calendars is done by me, other than the physical printing. These have actually been on sale for about a week now. My patrons got an early heads up, and they were also, anyone who just went onto my Metalworks store would have seen they're on sale. The reason I did it that way was because it meant I could split up the hit of orders. You know, imagine when you put this out, you get a big whack of orders to start with. Being able to spread that out should make it much more calm for me. But it also gave people the ability to pick up some limited items that I have, but I still have some left, but they will not be there for long when you see this on YouTube publicly. So when I did Restoration Z of the DRZ, when I completely took it apart and rebuilt it, I took the old chain, I cleaned them up, and I turned them into my classic, you know, Derek keychains. We've done this in the past with different bikes. These have come up particularly quite nicely. You can see very shiny. They are O-ring chains, so they are stiff, but they do move. I don't have many of these left. Some of them are blank, some of them are blank, but they've got this line from where I was using a 160 tyre, or at least that's what I assume that was caused by. And some of them have got CZ on them. But yeah, these ones are called the Derek keychains on the store. They're a little bit more expensive than the standard keychains because the idea of this is to help support the channel. And also there was only 24 of these to start with, so whatever's left is what's left. However, I do make cheaper ones, and these are just generic keychains made with Lextech chains, 520 size. And you see it says 520 Lextech on some of them. I think they were also 520 or Lextech. It's completely random what you're going to get on there. But yeah, these are cheaper little keychains. Nice thing about these ones though, as they're non-O-ring, is that they wiggle freely. These are great fidget toys, very handy to have it on your keys. I've literally made hundreds of these over the years. I believe they are still serving people well to this day. In fact, one of my patrons has driven more than 100,000 miles with one of these. I will add, actually, these aren't intended to go on your bike keys. These are intended for house keys, because if you put them on your bike key, obviously this could scratch up your headstock. I mean, you can do it if you want to, and plenty of people do, but I'm telling you not to because I'm not responsible for your paint getting scratched. So I've got the Derek keychains, the 520 keychains, the calendars, but what I also have left over from the past is some stickers. Now, I'm not selling these individually because these stickers are a couple of years old. When I stopped running the Metalworks, I put these into storage. Now, they're fine. There was a small silly putty spillage at one point, and that's why some of them have got corners chopped off, but any sticker that was affected by the silly putty in a place that there was adhesive was binned, basically. So everything that's left is good, it's just old stock, and for that reason I don't feel right selling them, but I will give them away. So the way this is going to work, and it's while stocks last and also by preference, if you order a calendar, you'll get a pair of stickers, and if you order a keychain, you'll get one single sticker. This is a first come, first serve, give me your preference type thing, but when they've run out, I'm afraid they've run out. It's not a guarantee you're going to get one. At some point, there will be a point where I will run out of stickers, but I do have a fair amount left. So when you're ordering on Etsy, in the notes on the order, please do not message me separately. Please don't send me messages on different platforms. It makes it 50 times harder for me. On the order form, if you order a calendar, if you'd like me to sign it with like silver pen on the front, then put please sign it. And if you have a preference on sticker, then say either Spicy logo, cut black, cut green, or cut white. Obviously, at some point, you may want white and there's only black left or green. And then I'll just send you whatever I have. If people don't give a preference on the order form, I won't be signing the calendars, but I will be, by random, picking out a sticker for them. And that will most likely be the one that I've got the most of at that point in time, so I have, you know, more for everyone. With the calendars I have in stock currently, I don't actually plan on having any more printed. However, if I do sell out of all of what I have now in, say, in the first week or so, then I will have a chance to order more in before Christmas. If not, I'll just sell through the stock that I have. So this is limited in the sense it's not going forever. The numbers of these is quite limited, but I have quite a few. The numbers on these is very limited. I'm not going to be making more things. Once this is all done, the Metalworks store is going to go back to being dormant. It's basically just going to get used when I do merch runs like this, and maybe in a future project, which is partially what proceeds from this are going to do. The proceeds from selling the calendars and this merch and stuff will be used to replace my GoPro. because I broke my GoPro and it's not waterproof now and I really need another one. Then obviously I've done some builds recently and spent some decent money out on fixing the bike. And lastly, there is another project that I want to start up this Christmas, which is, I'm not going to go into it here, but it's to do with sort of a making thing I wish to do. There may be some videos out of it, but it mainly will be a thing that I want to do on the side, and I need a bit of, a bit of cash to help get that going. I'm not going to talk about it here. I have talked about it in Patreon, but you'll see as things move on. There's no point talking about something months ahead when you might actually see the reality of it. I find that, when YouTubers do that, it annoys me. So I'm just not going to mention it and just say I've got future plans. It's for future plans. I hope those images are up to your expectations and you are interested in purchasing one of my calendars and getting yourself a free sticker and maybe even grabbing a keychain if there's any left to get a keychain. Thank you so much for your support. I really do mean it a lot. It's only with the support of the audience I'm able to do this. And if some people don't want to use Patreon or something like that, you can grab a calendar and help support the channel. So yeah, it's there if you wish to do it. Wishing you a wonderful Christmas or whatever you celebrate and a fantastic 2022. Let's now show you the images from the calendar. So this is your spoiler warning, pre-warning, spoiler warning. Okay, let's start with the motorcycles one. You can see front and back. This is nice cardstock, hangs from a hole. Generally the images were taken in 2021, some were taken in 2020, and I have kind of tried to match them up to the month, but you'll see. Let's get into it. So January, another thing I forgot to mention is from previous years you may have noticed that I used to print the images to the edge of the page, top and bottom. I decided this year to go with 16:9, and how much better does that look? Yeah, it's much better. Sorry about the reflections, it's a bit difficult in here with the lighting, but okay, so January, we have the DR, when it was working. It'll be back very soon. I need to get these sorts of things out of the way and I can get back to working on the DR. It's only a few hours from being done. Seriously, I hope. Touch wood. Then we have a Triumph Street Twin that I rode. I've got videos on that. All of these you will see videos on, so if you see a bike and you're like, oh, that's cool, I've got a video on it. From 2020, the Suzuki DR Big. I did an interesting side-by-side comparison of new and old DRs in a video. That was a good one. Then we've got April, Triumph Trident. Then in May, we got the Zero SRF. Absolutely bloody love that bike. Videos on that if you want to see them. Then we've got the GSX S1000. Sorry, lighting really is becoming an issue in here. Then we have a Tiger Triumph 1200. Alpine edition, if I remember correctly. I know a lot of people absolutely idolise those bikes, more so than I realised. So yeah, if you want to gawp over that, you can. August is the BMW R18. Again, video on that. That was an amazing bike. Yeah. September, the Energica Eva Rebelli RS, that £30,000 electric motorbike, which was absolutely bloody amazing and sounded crazy. Yes, electric bike sounds crazy. Watch the videos. Then we have the Triumph Rocket 3. Then we have the absolutely beautiful Bobber, and I've tried to give some of these pictures, the sort of a retro look to go along with them, and I think they come out very nicely. And of course, you probably would be going nuts if I didn't have it in there somewhere. Divi is December, after the recent rebuild. Okay, so that's the motorcycles calendar. I normally sell 2 of these to every 1 of these, so I've ordered stock accordingly. Okay, so the photography calendar. Now there is a reason behind every image being in here pretty much, and some of them are just because they look mad. So let's just get into it. January, nice cool, sort of cold scene. Then February, bismuth crystal close up, because why not? This thing is insane. This is a sort of image that when you start looking at it for longer and longer, and then you realise that that is a natural made structure of how that metal solidifies. Lots of videos on bismuth if you've not seen it. It's insane. I just thought it was very pretty, and that's why I've included it for February. Now, whether you're a biker or not, there is something that happens around March that always fills my soul with joy because I know the warm weather's coming. Oh yes, it's daffodils, a classic daffodil. That makes me happy when I see it because it gives me that moment of, oh, it's going to be so warm. I could do with that by March because I know it's going to be freezing. April, we have a longhorn beetle, Latin name something strangulera. Then we got May, nice sort of warm scene. Then we have June into the sunshine, you know, with flowers in there. I think this is called like a red-shouldered flower bug or something. I can't remember. I'm brilliant with insects, but for some reason my mind has gone blank on that one. July is another nice sunset. August is it's a large white or a small white butterfly. I absolutely cannot remember right now, and I didn't remember the other day, and I meant to check for this video and I forgot, and I've just remembered that. But anyway, let's look at the detail of this one. As I say, these are all images taken by me. And yeah, there is decent quality there. Then September, we have a really pretty, it was a mad night. I've never really, well, obviously you do see sunsets like this occasionally, but it was just one of those like perfect evenings where it just looked surreal. Yes, I did use an ND filter, so I've brought the colours in a little bit, but actually this was pretty close to the way that it looked to the human eye. Then October, we have a golden longhorn beetle. This little creature is awesome. I found it while going for a walk earlier this year. A couple of days later, I went back past the same place at Reno, managed to find him. He was sat on my hand quite happily, and then I was like, oh, you want to walk onto Reno's hand? It started squeaking. Right, I didn't know, these can make noise, and because of some sun cream or something she had on her hand, it could obviously was trying to like sense it with these sensory organs, and was like, oh, don't like that. And it kept like backing back into my hand and going, it was happy on me. It was really funny. But anyway, yeah, awesome little photo with a great memory. November. Just a load of blue streaks. White streaks, should we say? No, because that is a tree. Yeah, that's the night sky, long time lapse. Doing stuff like this, you know, just sat in a garden and taking pictures over time, even in a couple of minute exposure like this, or I can't actually remember how long this exposure was, probably a few minutes going on the length of the stars, it just goes to show how we really are in a very moving context. But you just look out the window and you think the stars are just fixed in place. It's good for you to remember that. Puts you in good perspective. And then for December, we have festive colours. And do you know what this is? That is the solidifying surface of liquid metal bismuth. Again, from the bismuth videos, some of the most amazing things I've ever seen with my human eyes happened in that dish in this garage on this table. Anyway, there you go, there's the photography one. So if you are interested in grabbing a calendar, you've now seen the spoilers inside. Bye-bye.